Hello, everybody.
Oh, fuck, hi.
Please tell me about this submarine.
Like, what I was saying is, like, I'm not wishing anyone's death, but also the more I learn about the situation of the missing sub, the less bad I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone from a point, like, point A was me just hearing a submarine was missing and making my own conclusions, like, oh, maybe it was a scientific vessel, it's gone missing, they're trying to find it. It's, like, pure, like, horrible, like, chance that they've gone missing like this.
Yeah.
Now where I'm realizing, no, it was a bunch of dickhead billionaires, including the CEO of the company that does the excursions, in a jerry-rigged sub made out of off-the-shelf parts, including a Logitech knockoff-brand Xbox controller.
No, don't hurt me. Rattle 'em, boys! But yeah, well, yeah, wasn't one of them made off? It was controlled by what? An Xbox controller, like a knockoff.
A Logitech brand game controller.
Yeah, oh, damn it. Yeah, that's smart. Excuse me, I'm choking on a pretzel. Well, that was just friendly fire. Oh, God. Yeah, the whole submarine scene, like, first of all, nightmare. That's a nightmare right there. Second of all, what a bunch of idiots.
Apparently, the thing that's really taken me by surprise is that CBS did a whole, like, piece on this company a few months ago. And, yeah, there were a lot of red flags, to say the least.
Well, start by saying your favorite one.
That when the owner of the company, who is one of the people on the missing sub, was asked about any safety concerns, or any safety precautions with the sub, he started going on this tirade about how people get so lost in safety concerns that they don't take risks.
What?
Yeah.
So just immediate red flags.
Like, I'd have to see if I could find the actual quote again, but he started saying, if people worried so much about safety, they wouldn't even get out of bed, get into a car, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that is not what you say when you're talking about the safety of your submarine that's supposed to go to the deepest non-trench point of the Atlantic.
Fucking, his shareholders are like, shut the fuck up.
Well, the other thing is, this thing was built to, like, not built to any, like, regulations or safety standards.
I'm not shocked. Come on.
Did you not title the episode in your rush to get to go live?
No, I did.
For some reason mine's not showing anything, but I'm not going to worry about it.
I titled it Buns-Farted.
Got it.
Whoa, hey, Junior, I don't know why you're doing all that. Whoa, hey, pal, you wanna back off?
Again, still, pray to God, like, I've heard they basically have enough life support to get them till some point on Thursday. Praying to God they somehow miraculously find them and save them, but...
Not gonna hold my breath.
There's a certain irony to a bunch of rich guys loading themselves into a carbon fiber tube to go down to view one of the greatest examples of man's hubris.
Alright, I'm just gonna run. Yeah, no, I think it's very funny, actually. You know what, Elon Musk? You should risk it all and go for Mars.
So that's one of the main things I thought about is, like, there used to be some people would say, like, if a rich guy ever offers to send you into space, don't trust it, because if it was safe, he'd be doing it himself. But this is making me question that.
Because now these guys just really don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Because in this case, multiple rich guys launched themselves into the bottom of the ocean.
Which
Again,
is
in a carbon fiber tube.
And didn't work out. Oop. Weapons. Fucking. Meanwhile, there's James Cameron, who has figured this shit out years ago.
Well, that's the funny thing is, like, someone made a joke. The inevitable point of the sub-news cycle is that they'll eventually come back around to saying, what does James Cameron think about the situation? As far as I'm aware, no one's actually gotten a comment out of him, but they keep bringing it up, like trying to say, what would James Cameron think about this? Just because he's the one nut job who's put a vast amount of his resources into his very specific interest of going down deep into the ocean. So much so that he was the 4th person ever recorded to go down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, because he's a fucking maniac. Sorry, I'm scared. I'm so scared.
But again, he went down in actual, like, regulation-built, like, highly advanced submersible vehicles that were designed to withstand that pressure. Meanwhile, this company actually fired a guy who tried to blow the whistle on the fact that the material that makes up their portholes, or the one porthole on the sub, was not, like, spec'd for the depth they were trying to take it to.
Like, come on, guys. Like, the warnings were there.
Oh no, there were red flags all over this thing, which makes me wonder why these 5 chose to get in it. Especially the guy who cut all said costs. Like, was he confident or just stupid or both?
Both. It's both.
Let's see. In other words, or in other news, I have Final Fantasy 16 pre-downloaded, and the second that clock hits 0, that you will not hear from me for a bit. I don't know. I talked about this with Kevin. If anyone's up, I might do like episode 2, as it were, of just like my first like session. But that's about all you're gonna get out of me. Also, Kevin, not even from playing the demo, but from watching me play the demo, Kevin bought the game.
Yeah, I figured he would. Okay, cool.
Did I mention on stream that I find it hilarious that people have used the demo to get so good at the combat system for Final Fantasy 16 that they've started bullying the Dragoon enemy in the demo?
I think you mentioned it early last night, probably.
Yeah, basically, like, people have gotten really good at the timing, at least against this enemy, of parrying as well as using an ability called Stomp that is effectively just Goomba stomping off of an enemy.
That is magical, if nothing else.
And they're just using these two things in tandem to bully the shit out of them. Oh, Crash Team Rumble came out today. That's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know enough about how it actually plays to say whether or not I have any interest in it or not, but that's cool.
Thank you.
I'm sure I told you about my thoughts about Crash 4. Great, fantastically designed and developed game. It's a completionist's nightmare.
Yeah.
Of which, thankfully, I am not one, but I pity anyone who has the weird compulsion to try with that game.
I mean,
seriously, what the fuck?
I mean, all the Crash games are kind of terrible in that regard. But from my understanding,
4 is especially
way worse.
bad about the sheer amount of shit.
Love of God.
What else has happened today? Oh yeah, Smosh is back together.
Yeah, that caught me completely off guard, but I'm excited for it. For those who don't know, Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox announced that they were getting back together to repurchase Smosh, the company. For those who don't know, Anthony and Ian, the original founders and original duo behind Smosh some years ago, had a falling out, seemingly because Anthony was not happy about the very corporate direction that Smosh had gone since it became a company, and was feeling very creatively stifled within it. And they went their separate ways for years, and Smosh predominantly became a different group of content creators doing a variety of different shows, to the point where it became very unrecognizable compared to the sketch comedy it was originally known for.
Yeah.
But again, out of nowhere today, the two of them announced that they've seemingly reconciled and are planning to repurchase the company.
Gotta run. No, why would you do that one, you fucking piece of shit controller? Anyway, yeah. Come on.
The other game stuff I've done recently, I tried the trial for Park Beyond, since that just came out a few days ago.
How was it?
It's a new theme park builder type, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, Planet Coaster type thing. I thought it was interesting, especially I very much do like its core gimmick of impossifying different stuff, which basically means you can build up like a wow factor from the crowds and then from your crowd, and then spend that to like basically transform your ride into a more fantastical, physics-defying version of itself.
Cool, I like that.
So a great example is a ride that's like, it's like called like Kraken something. Originally it's basically just God no. It's basically just your stereotypical flat ride of like two ship swings that go like side to side. The ones on hinges, not pirate ship rides. And it just like goes like that with the theme of like, oh, it's like a giant octopus swinging you back and forth. Then if you impossify the ride, it becomes an actual giant robot octopus throwing these juggling submersible pods with riders inside.
That's fun.
I will say it wasn't perfect from my experience with the trial, at least. I had noticed a couple glitches. The one that most annoyed me is randomly my rides would disconnect from their exits and entrances.
Oh, come on.
And I'd have to delete the old ones and build a new one. I was never really clear what caused that, and it really annoyed me.
I don't blame you. That's fucking stupid.
Other than that, it is your bog standard, like, Planet Coaster style, Roller Coaster Tycoon style park builder.
And you only played the trial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So I'm sure by the time the game fully comes out, it'll be better.
I will say, one thing that I thought was very funny is one of the things they included as a pre-order bonus is a content pack for Pac-Man.
Oh, that's fun.
So
I like that.
It's a bunch of, like, Pac-Man themed, like, rides and scenery.
Who made this game?
I think it's Bandai Namco. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, like, but I don't know who the dev is. Like, let me actually look this up. It's published by Bandai Namco, thus, the Pac-Man content.
Can we get some Tekken content in there?
That'd be hilarious. Hold on, let me check Wikipedia. Developed by Limbic Entertainment. What have they done?
Real quick, can we talk about how this year has basically just been this very bizarre gold standard for fighting games at the moment? Like, we got Street Fighter 6 that just came out, and people, you know, love it or leave it, but mostly people really seem to have liked it.
I was gonna say, I've seen pretty good things all around for that.
Mortal Kombat 1 coming out later this year. When, I don't remember. And then Tekken 8 is coming out this year. Like, the three major gaming franchises are having major releases.
Fighting game franchises, yes.
And then on top of that, and this is more of a me thing, but I think considering the style of the game itself, it's a little different than just a standard simulator. AEW Fight Forever is just going back to the old school arcade style of wrestling games.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Okay,
Is
real
there a
quick.
fighting?
Looking at the page for Limbic Entertainment, the guys who developed Park Beyond. They're a relatively young studio. They were founded. Oh, never mind. They were founded in 2002. That's interesting because their first game listed on Wikipedia is Might and Magic Heroes 6 in 2011.
Huh.
They developed some of the Might and Magic games for Ubisoft from 2011 to 2015. They had a game that has an unlisted Wikipedia page called Memories of Mars in 2018.
Weird.
And in 2019, they developed Tropico 6, which was the last thing they did before Park Beyond.
Huh.
Other than like the 3 they did for Ubisoft, all under different publishers too, which is interesting.
That is interesting. I have to look into this.
The thing I find interesting is like I expected this to be like sort of like when Planet Coaster came out, and when I started digging into that, and I found out that it was made by Frontier Developments. Frontier previously created ports for Roller Coaster Tycoon, and went on to develop Roller Coaster Tycoons 2 and 3.
Awesome.
They also then went on to make Thrillville and its sequel.
I remember Thrillville.
Like, as well as like Connectimals and a few other Connect games for Microsoft.
Never forget
including Microsoft's like Xbox One version of Zoo Tycoon, if you remember that.
Do I go this way? Probably not.
The point is, these guys were like Park Tycoon veterans. Oh, right. They also developed Jurassic World Evolution. Important note.
I heard that game's pretty fun.
Point is, these guys were like longtime like granddaddies of the park building genre. So it made perfect sense that they made Planet Coaster.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty lit once this game comes out, or once
Well, this one is out. Like,
what's the one that you got a trial for? Is that Planet Coaster
Park
or
Beyond?
Park Beyond. That's it. It's gonna be
came
lit
out
with that game.
on the 16th.
Oh shit, my mistake. You know what it is? I'm so used to demos that I just assume trial and demo is the same thing.
That's fair.
Meanwhile,
no, I think the trial I did was through PlayStation Plus.
Okay, real quick. So the standard price for any new game is typically always like $60. Maybe nowadays it's like $70, but you know. Mm-hmm. Point is, standard pricing for a video game. Who told NHL they had the gall to keep their game at $99 with no like bonus to with the game?
Hold on, what?
This is standard PlayStation Store. It might be different elsewhere, and maybe
that's the X Factor edition that you saw. The standard edition is $70.
All right, because I was gonna say like I've been
sometimes virtual storefronts for PlayStation and Xbox do this sneaky thing where the one they'll show you first is not the standard edition.
Got it. Because I've been trying to get into some sports games. I have NBA 2K downloaded. I haven't played it yet, and I really want to get MLB The Show, but I've been holding off on NHL for that reason, because the storefront only shows the the special edition or whatever it would be called. Either way.
So typically, at least on the PlayStation storefront, what you can do is you can click on any edition of a game, and then go to the ... next to like all the purchase options, and that'll show you all the editions.
Got it. Perfect. Maybe I'll play some fucking NHL later then. Well, I won't. Not tonight. I got things I gotta do, but like the show. What the fuck else has happened? I finally watched Extraction 2 last night, which was actually very good. Very good action movie. So if you need something, you know, it's like dumb fun action. So if you just need something to turn on, boom, there it is. You are being a dick. Boom.
Hey, but going back to something you said earlier, I think that's hilarious that AEW Fight Forever is going to be like a more classic arcade wrestling game.
Yeah. I think Kenny Omega, one of the guys in the company, got heavily involved with helping them make it, because he was like, it's gotta be like a game like you would play on the N64, and they're like, okay, dude, we can do that.
Well, because I think I told you one of my first games that I ever played, I'm pretty sure was WrestleMania on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, that game's ridiculous. That's a game they should try to somehow re-release.
I mean, the problem is most of, like, Sega is deathly afraid of the hardware market, and I'm sure Vince is not exactly rushing to put out any WWF stuff.
Because in his mind, it's like, well, we got this part of the company set, so why would we want to remake a game? I think the last time they tried their own style of arcade game was actually pretty bad, but we don't have to talk about that one.
Yeah, in this game you could play as Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bam Bam Bigelow, Doink the Clown.
Hell yeah.
Bret Hart.
You gotta have a hit, man. Any Razor Ramon?
Yes.
Razor Ramon. Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Or maybe not, because here's the thing that's kind of confusing. There's multiple Sega Genesis WrestleMania games.
He played the one where Undertaker threw, like,
chainsaws.
Yeah, he threw chainsaws at people. I wonder if Yokozuna was playable in that game.
Where was it? It might have been Royal Rumble, actually. Maybe? No, I don't think it was. No, it's definitely not.
He was trying to stop it from leaving.
Also, Yokozuna was in the game.
Fuck yeah.
For God's sake. Look, I know it sounds crazy. You just gotta trust me.
Where the fuck am I going here? So, I just want to say something, because I know I've been kind of lousy in this stream, and I'm sorry, y'all. That being said, I felt very, I guess, validated earlier today, because sometimes when I think about whenever I stream, like, man, I'm kind of bad at these games I play, but whatever. But I felt a lot better, because I watched DSP play Tears of the Kingdom today, and, whew, at least I'm not him. You ever see a grown man struggle with a very simple puzzle?
Every time I look in the mirror.
I mean, let me put it this way. He got stuck on a puzzle that, I mean, granted I got a little stuck too, but once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. How did I not realize this? He refused to solve it the way that it was kind of intended, and then once he just went through, he's like, oh wow, such a smart puzzle, fuck you guys. And then meanwhile, it's like, here's another streamer who did solve it the way it was intended, and yeah, no, he's a real fucking idiot.
Now drop your weapons.
Okay, yeah, so it was WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, which was ported to Sega Genesis.
Got it.
It was a Midway Acclaim published game.
We'll be with you in a moment.
Which is funny because that means it was one of two Midway games I played on that console growing up. Because I also had Mortal Kombat 2.
I was gonna say it was probably a Mortal Kombat game.
I've never seen anything like it before.
That was like Midway's bread and butter back then.
Okay, so the roster was Bret the Hitman Hart, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Bam Bam Bigelow, Yokozuna, Doink the Clown, and Lex Luger.
Oh man, you get to ride the Lex Express. That was a real thing. He had a feud with Yokozuna for the world title, and they made a bus and they called it the Lex Express.
Also, you'll enjoy this. A unique feature is that each character can quote-unquote bleed an object that represents them. Such bleeding objects include dumbbells flying out of Lex Luger and Valentine hearts coming out of Bret Hart.
God damn it.
so little
God damn it.
Navarro, that thing wiped out an entire colony.
Wonder if it was broken hearts for Shawn Michaels because he was the Heartbreak Kid.
The only person on this island who knows what the hell he's doing. Gotta get lost now.
That's a big ass statue you guys are just gonna try and take.
You are so pathetic. All of you, scrambling around for your petty treasures.
What
Do
am
you
I
have
doing
any
here? I
idea
just
what
want to check
this
something.
is?
But again, like, the thing that always cracked me up about it growing up is that even though it was a wrestling game, it was basically treated like kind of a cartoony fighter. So, like, characters could do really absurd shit, like Doink the Clown could, like, throw out a giant clown hand with a joy buzzer.
Yeah.
And Undertaker could throw chainsaws and torches and shit.
I love it. So unneeded, but it was so good. Real quick, because I know we've talked about it in group chat. How about that Craven trailer?
It's not the most encouraging thing, but I don't know. I think it would be hilarious if people really lose their shit about it.
Oh, cool.
Also,
That's
like, someone tell him he can do an accent. He's allowed to do an accent. We know he can do one. The character is meant to, like, be Russian. Why don't he do the accent?
I don't think that was his decision.
I know it wasn't, but it still bothers me.
Because, like, here's a British guy who can do some pretty convincing accent work, all things considered.
We know Aaron Taylor Johnson can do, like, a Russian/Eastern European accent, because he did one for Marvel already.
Yeah, in a better movie, even though that movie was also pretty bad in hindsight.
Fuck, Russell Crowe, who plays his character's dad, is doing a Russian accent in the trailer.
Dude, I love by the way, I love Russell Crowe. Like,
one thing some people pointed out that I kind of agree with is it's a little ironic that they seem to have given Russell Crowe's character, Craven from the comics, philosophy about hunting.
Yeah.
Kind of ironically. Because, yeah, for those who aren't aware, this is another example of Sony trying to make a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. And to do that, their strategy is basically turn every villain into an anti-hero.
See, at least with Morbius, Craven, it kind of worked.
Anti-hero Craven can't possibly enjoy killing animals. No, he loves animals after he had a Catwoman the movie experience with some lion blood.
I mean, like, yeah.
Real quick, that's another thing. I really hope they don't actually give him superpowers.
Yeah. Make him, like, super tough and, like
make him, like, superhuman in a very realistic way. Don't give him weird animal powers from getting a drop of lion blood in his system. Don't get me wrong. In the comics, Craven has some, like, superhuman strength and agility and all that. And, like, but that, like, you can still, like, I can see you kind of making that a thing. But also, just kind of keep it in check, I think. I think Craven's most interesting when he's, like, the apex of a human hunter.
Yeah. Here's the one thing I can say in this movie's defense compared to Morbius is, this movie looks like it's gonna be fun.
Oh no, I think I'm gonna, like, crack up in the theater watching this, so I'll probably go see it.
It'll have some cool looking action scenes, it'll have some moments where I'm like, alright, that's kind of badass, and it's gonna be a lot more enjoyable, I feel like. Whereas Morbius,
and as the rest of our group, I'm sure, is sick of hearing from me, they're doing Rhino, and I'm kind of morbidly curious to see how they do him.
Like, what the fuck can you do with Rhino?
First off, you can do a fucking lot with Rhino. Secondly, the only other live-action Rhino depiction we've gotten was fucking Paul Giamatti in a mech suit. So I kind of want to see anyone else try something. No offense to Paul Giamatti. Love Paul Giamatti. Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't it, Chief.
And even the biggest defenders of that movie can say he was the worst part of it. I know Gollum was the worst part, but
I know.
Did I know? God damn it! What the fuck? What the fucking fuck? You know, fuck this.
Let's see. But yeah, no, again, it looks real goofy, and who knows, maybe it'll be kind of an enjoyable goofiness to it. He bites off a dude's nose at one point.
And that gives him the power of that guy.
Right? Does that make him take away his animal powers? Because now he just has the power of a guy.
Hey, you know what? You want to know what the biggest thing this movie has that Morbius? Well, unfortunately, Morbius did have. Jared Leto.
The other thing I noticed in the trailer that I would be interested to see them actually do something with, if they choose to, is they deliberately show Kraven's half-brother, Dmitry Smerdyakov, a.k.a. the Chameleon.
Oh! I mean the character I keep fan casting with Dana Carvey for very obvious reasons.
I want to be a master of disguise.
I want to be a master of disguise.
Again, though, if nothing else about the Rhino depiction, at the very least, it is Alexei Sistovich, Russian mob enforcer, who seems to have undergone some procedure to give him, Rhino-like, nigh invincible armor.
Yeah.
Even if it seems to be more of a transformative thing in this case, because, again, can't really say a lot for sure with that character, because we literally just see a single clip at the end of the trailer of his arms starting to turn, gray and armored.
I mean...
Again, if nothing else, this is going to be kind of a goofy, so bad it's good kind of thing.
And you know what? I don't think this will hurt Aaron Taylor's recent comeback in movies. I think I say comeback as if he's really gone anywhere, but I feel like Bullet Train definitely put him right back on the track of being more popular. Because he was great in that movie.
And then the other thing is, if it does turn out to really be just garbage, hilariously bad, let's see if we can pull Morbius again and convince them to put it back in theaters and say, this time, guys, this time we swear we'll all come watch it.
I mean, I actually will go see it in theaters. I don't care. This will be fun. This one's gonna actually be, well, again,
I hate to say it, for all 5 Morbius fans out there, and I mean that of the comic character, but that was another big thing besides Jared Leto that Morbius had working against it, is that nobody fucking cares about Morbius.
No. Morbius was a C-list character at best.
Meanwhile, Kraven, as far as public relevance, couldn't have come out in a better year, since Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac is coming out this year, featuring Kraven as one of the antagonists.
Yeah, we're getting at least...
Which, on that note, again, if this movie turns out to be poopy garbage, which it could easily, at least we'll still get a seemingly very good Kraven depiction in the game.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, it's the year of Kraven.
Kraven sweep. It's Kraven time.
Just get Kraven in that Jeb Bush pose.
Please clap.
Please. No, you know the meme where it's Jeb Bush in front of the the payments. He's like, oh.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, I am not sitting there any longer. Should I even?
Also, again, it's also going to continue the long-running tradition of these Sony Marvel movies of referencing Spider-Man in the most indirect way possible. In the trailer, we see Kraven surrounded by spiders.
Kraven's just like, I wonder what this could mean.
I hate spiders. If I ever found out there was a man of spider, I would kill.
Well, I like that we keep giving him an accent because the movie won't.
Even though, again, the movie version for some reason does not have an accent. Even though he was born and raised in Russia as in a family that is powerful within the Russian Bratva. But no, he speaks with a perfect American accent.
Couldn't even at least make him British or something. So the internet has been reacting to Zendaya's next movie.
Oh, what's she in?
She's in a movie where she's sleeping with her 2 tennis teammates.
Okay.
And the internet has basically been like, Tom Holland's failing right now. And I'm like, alright.
Because his girlfriend's
in a movie with a threesome. I was like, y'all, let's stop. Let's all just log off the internet for today. Collectively. God damn it. Hold on, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
I mean, all I'll say is, I knew that relationship was solid since the lip sync battle thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of, he's like just coming off a break from acting soon, isn't he?
I think he's still on a break.
I know, that's why I said soon.
Because, let's be very frank, anything that wasn't Spider-Man or Marvel related has been not good for him.
I think he's gotta get a better agent.
Yeah, he really, like... I know he's probably sticking with that, with his agent, because he got him Spider-Man. Dude, get a better agent.
Because again, everything not Spider-Man, like most of the stuff you've been in not Spider-Man, has not been fantastic for you.
Like, okay, Spies in Disguise, fine. It was a stupid kids movie. I can live with that.
I even say it's kind of an enjoyable kids movie. I had a fun time with it.
Devil All the Time, I heard it was good. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak for it. Everything else, holy shit.
Oh, also, speaking of funny stories regarding acting, holy shit, The Weeknd can't act for shit.
I'm shocked. I mean,
So, have you heard about this?
The Idol?
Yeah.
I mean, I know of it.
I haven't, like, sat down and watched it, but everything I've seen of it is real bad.
I mean, a lot of it comes down to just a really shitty director being involved with it.
Like, well, that's the thing. I'm not, like, I'll give him the benefit of a doubt maybe and say, like, the director's giving him nothing to work with, but he just looks dead on screen.
I mean, again, he's not an actor usually, so this is definitely out of his realm of comfort.
Forget the Halloween Horror Nights house. This is the real weekend horror show. For those who forgot that The Weeknd had a house at Halloween Horror Nights last year.
I saw a thing where Christopher Nolan said that some people might view Oppenheimer as a horror movie, and he said, I wouldn't blame them. Someone commented, oh, yeah, you like this.
I think you saw that because I liked it.
Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights can do the funniest thing ever this year.
It ends with you just passing a city like sign that in Japanese that underneath an English subtitle says Hiroshima.
That was so fucking tasteless. Oh god.
One of the scenes you walk past is just the Demon Core incident, and in true immersion, anyone who walks past gets blasted with lethal doses of radiation.
Jesus Christ.
Oppenheimer jump scare. Oh, become death.
I'm this. Let's go.
Albert Einstein jump scare.
No, not Albert. I will say, Oppenheimer.
Speaking of actual Horror Nights houses that got announced recently, they're doing The Last of Us. Shocking.
How fitting that we're playing a Naughty Dog game when you talk about that. God damn it.
I mean, like, frankly, they'd be dumb not to after the utter sensation that the show was.
Yeah. But isn't their house going to be more based on the game?
Yes. Still, brand relevance.
And also, it's definitive proof that The Last of Us is fucking horror. Because a lot of people like to argue that it isn't.
Seriously?
Even though, you know, it's a zombie game. I feel like that...
I'll say this much. The zombies were never the main threat in The Last of Us.
No, it was always. I mean, it was always what has become of humanity that was the true horror.
You know, it'd be a really darkly hilarious last scene for The Last of Us house at Horror Nights.
Don't you fucking say it.
You're
Don't
in the
you...
hospital, but you're not Joel.
That's a bold plan.
You just see scientists trying to crawl to freedom, and then Joel just jump scares you.
I mean, we could hop ahead a little bit in events. You could end it at a ski resort with Joel on the ground.
Damn, okay.
Want y'all to know, I'm really not jiving with your vibes.
You have failed the vibe check. Not a vibe.
So who's the bigger psychopath? Joel or Nathan Drake?
Joel. Easily.
Yeah, but Nathan's killing a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's usually people who shoot at him first.
Yeah, Joel kills the people who shoot at him first.
Yeah, but again,
but he
the
also
hospital
tortures
scene,
them too,
the
doesn't
hospital
he?
scene kind of morally, like, tips against Joel's favor.
To be fair, Joel also tortures a shit ton of people.
Exactly.
That's a bigger point than just the amount of people he's killed.
Like again, spoilers for The Last of Us, both the first season of the show and the first game. It literally ends with Joel murdering a bunch of scientists purely trying to develop a cure, because it would risk sacrificing the life of his weird surrogate daughter situation. He basically damns the world over one person.
I mean, they even said they didn't know if they would even have it.
Point remains, Ellie was their best choice. Like, sympathies aside, he screwed the world out of that one chance. Very immediately and violently.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
Nathan,
It was
whenever he
violent.
starts getting into a gunfight, it's usually against mercenaries who are out to kill him as well.
I wasn't paying attention. Went to grab my water as soon as that happened.
Like, I don't think it's even close to equatable.
What the hell? Fucking. Oh wow! Exploding barrels. Woo. Just go down. Stand up. Thank you. I tried to make a list of things to talk about for stream tonight, but I literally left it at Craven, Smosh, and the boat. The submarine, rather, not the boat. Oh my gosh. No, my gun.
Oh crap, now what?
Excuse me, I'm uncover. You. Oh, wow. Damn it. I thought I could just run to the next one. Alright, anyway. Fuck.
So I have heard. I think I am going to give Pixar's new movie Elemental a try. Mainly because I've heard a lot of people say they actually thought it was a very sweet story, and that, as I kind of suspected going into it, the marketing was awful for this movie.
So, is it not just like a weird fucking romance movie?
It's an immigration story.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
Don't get me wrong, the romance itself is a big part of
Let me
it.
take a step back. Maybe Immigration Story doesn't fit the quality of fun exactly.
It's from what I've heard, it's a very sweet story.
No, of course.
And frankly, many people have echoed my same sympathies that the advertising made it seem really cringy in a way that I've heard the final movie is not.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. I do hate, and I know we either talked about this in a separate call or we talked about this through text, but there's too many people saying that Pixar has lost their way, and I'm like,
because of one somewhat underwhelming movie.
and we're talking about Lightyear, of course, being that movie. Because, frankly, the other movies that came up before that one have been pretty good. Like, okay.
Like, y'all forgetting Coco, and I'm not going to stand for that.
But, well, I mean, I think they're talking, like, post-COVID movies.
Quite a day.
Well, also, for that, a lot of that blame on Chapek and his insistence on releasing Pixar films onto Disney Plus directly.
But even then, like, Turning Red was pretty good. Actually, it was really good.
Soul
But
was great.
You know, I
Which one?
managed to save one
Soul?
small thing.
Soul was phenomenal. I cried watching that movie.
I thought you
What was the other one?
miss this.
Luca was good. I can see why some people might not like it as much.
Luca wasn't anything groundbreaking, but I still really thought it was an incredibly sweet film.
Yeah, like,
Also, have you seen the sort of sequel short Ciao Alberto?
no, I haven't.
Oh, I love it. I love that short.
Have a boat.
Yeah, big boat.
But, like, my point remains, like, Pixar has not lost their way. Plus, Elemental always looked like a cool movie, regardless if the story itself wasn't much to go off of.
I was gonna say, I figured, like, even when I was thinking, like, the advertising was doing it no justice, I was still thinking that the way they were, like, animating each of the elements, like, seemed really interesting and innovative.
Yeah. Like, that was
But because
definitely,
it's not a 2D, 3D fusion, no one gives a fuck.
Sorry you didn't get
because we're in a day and age where you gotta be both combined somehow. We can't be one or the other.
Like, y'all, I'm not disagreeing that Spider-Verse, like, continues to push, like, what 3D animation can do. But also, movies can still be good without, like, aping their fucking art style.
Exactly. Like, come on, y'all. Oh, the game's over.
Like, some people were shitting on Disney for the fact that, like, that Wish is their first time, like, stepping into that 2D, 3D, like, hybrid space, and even then kind of, like, hesitantly. It's like, dude, I'm not denying Disney face is a thing, but also, like, whether or not they choose to do this current art style trend doesn't define whether their shit is going to be any good.
Exactly. Plus, like, look.
Chasing art style trends is exactly why we got shit like Chicken Little.
Ooh,
I don't want to
yeah.
go back there.
And also, like, I think it's good to have a mixture of art animation styles rather than everyone trying to copy whatever was the most successful film at the time.
Absolutely.
Also, oh, by the way, the game's over. I didn't realize we were in the last stage of it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I beat Uncharted 1.
Okay, on to Uncharted 2.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that one. I already beat that game off stream.
On to Uncharted 3.
No, absolutely not. Not that game.
4?
I thought you or Kevin were going to do that one.
Yeah, that was on the table at one point. It just kind of fell through the cracks because Kevin felt weird about, like, running 2 Uncharted games at the same time.
Well, now we can tell him he can do whatever he likes. Ooh, ooh,
Well, no,
ooh.
I was the one talking about doing it. Kevin thought it would be weird.
Well,
Although, frankly, I think that we still ended up doing a series that he was playing also.
what series was that?
Oh, fuck, what was it? I can't remember, and that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, it was Resident Evil. Because I started playing 7 right before 4 Remake came out.
Right. I don't know. Also, I just want to say real quick, because I saw discussion about the Suicide Squad being a massive box office bomb. And, well, I'm not going to disagree that there were movies that came out during the COVID era that were huge box office successes. Godzilla vs. Kong being the best example in my mind. No offense, I don't think anybody wanted to leave their house to go see a DCEU movie during the pandemic.
Especially a Suicide Squad movie when there was only one other of those, and it was the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, like, not to mention, like, it was close to getting its budget back, but still. I was like, because people are like, oh, it was a box office bomb. I'm like, yeah, but how did it perform on streaming? Like, a lot of box office bombs tend to make their money back. Well, I mean, streaming's a terrible way to judge it nowadays, but...
Well, no, it is a thing that's become a thing, and it ties back to what I was talking about with Pixar's movies recently, where because we only really define, like, a movie's success by box offices, that people, like, kind of ignored those Pixar movies that came out onto Disney Plus during COVID.
Exactly. What a fun way to end the Uncharted playthrough. Discuss the business ordeals of streaming and film. We can discuss this on like a different call, but I should probably end the episode now.
Alright.
Alright, well, thank you guys for joining me on this Uncharted playthrough that I didn't think we would get done as soon as we did.
This is like the last episode of Resident Evil 7 all over again.
It really is. We were not ready for this. We're only 50 minutes into the episode.
Although it's a little worse with that, because this was truly unexpected, and you're just like, I'll get some more progress on Uncharted. With the Resident Evil 7 thing, I literally stopped short of where I thought was near the end, because I thought I had at least like another level or so to like fill out a last episode, and I did not.
Alright, well, we'll be back with you guys another time. Good night, everybody.